Yes, you're still watching Power Breakfast right here on Citizen TV. Time now for us to take a look at the news headlines this morning. And with me today, I have Wavinya Ndeti, former Kafiani Member of Parliament, an aspirant for the Machakos Governor's seat, and also the party leader for Chama Cha Uzalendo. Karibu sana. Next to her is Mary Emase, Member of Parliament from Teso County.
Teso South Constituency.
Teso South Constituency. Yes, Karibu sana. Now, we do have the Daily Nation with us. The rest of the dailies are still on their way. I don't know what the problem was, but before we even go to the politics and all this, there's a story on the front page there, down there. Kibaki scheduled for surgery tomorrow in South Africa. I know you've worked with the former president, and the retired president is apparently going for surgery to remove a blood clot in a vein on his neck, according to the Daily Nation. However, they say he's in a much better condition. He's upbeat. He can be able to move around. Just a quick word of encouragement, probably. And I know you remember the former president when you worked with him in the was it the Grand Coalition government or the NARC government?
It was the Grand Coalition government. But I was an assistant minister appointed by the former president. And we thank God, at least the problem has been seen. You know, the clot has been captured on time, and if it gets, it will be removed, and he's going to be fine. He's a strong man. He has gone through so many things in his life, and you know, he went through the accident, and he pulled through. And I'm sure by the grace of God, he will pull through, and we're praying for him. We're praying for him. He has done great things for this country. He brought a lot of changes in this country. He brought us from whatever century to the 20th century. So we thank God for him, and we pray for him.
Equally, I want to wish him a quick recovery. We are happy as a country that at least his condition was stabilized before being transferred to South Africa, and that he's undergoing an operation, and they already know what the problem is. So we are with him in this. We support with the family, and we're praying for him for quick recovery.
Now, of course, on the front page of the Daily Nation, there's a lot of politics, but as usual, we reserve the discussion on politics towards the end of the show. So we'll open at least the first page and see. On page 2 of the Daily Nation, most Kenyans feel the country is headed to the dogs. This according to the opinion poll conducted by Infotrack and released yesterday. And at least 58.2% of Kenyans feel that the country is headed in the wrong direction. 62% of Kenyans feel, or those polled in that survey, feel that Kenya is headed in the wrong direction politically. Now, you are politicians. When we're already in the election year, Kenyans are feeling that politically we're definitely, that's the majority of Kenyans. 62% of Kenyans feel politically we're definitely headed in the wrong direction. What does that say about our politics and our politicians?
Why do Kenyans feel that politically we're going to the wrong direction? Why do they feel that way?
Probably that's
you can give us the figures, but you should also tell us why they feel that we are going in the right direction. And I just want to tell Kenyans, this country belongs to you. No one is going to come from Uganda, Tanzania, Somalia, or wherever to come and make this country better for you. It is for you Kenyans to make Kenya better and make Kenya move to the right direction. Kenya is there, but who is Kenya? Kenya is made of the people of this country. So if you're talking about, if more than us are saying that Kenya is going in the right direction, then the people with the problem are the Kenyans. So what are you going to do about that problem to make sure that we move in the right direction? Nobody's going to sort out our problems for us. We have to sort out our own problems. So these Kenyans, if they talk, they're talking about themselves. So if that is it,
because even our politics is just a reflection of us.
It is a reflection of us. It is about us. So what is it that we are doing wrong that we feel we are going in the wrong direction? Let us look at our problems and change direction.
Do you agree that we could be headed in the wrong direction, either economically, politically, or otherwise?
For me, I don't feel so. We have grown as a country in democracy. Everybody has the right in this country to do whatever they want, to elect whoever they want. There is democracy in this country. Democracy for even the media. Yeah, we have democracy. So for me,
Okay.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, this poll was released yesterday, only a day after we had seen a very rare spectacle when the president and the opposition leader stood on one podium and called upon Kenyans to unite and said, never again shall we see bloodshed because of political differences. Do you think that is what, with those two things hand in hand, what is your analysis of this poll?
I think, first of all, I don't think the reason why this poll is heading that direction is because the president and the opposition leader met, because I believe the poll must have started much earlier.
I'm saying the stark difference between that show between the president and prime minister plus this poll, putting them on, looking at them on the same page. The difference is stark. The difference is rather stark because on one hand, Kenyans are saying we're headed in the wrong direction politically. On the other hand, we are seeing the two protagonists in Kenyan politics standing on one podium. Are we confused as a country?
We are not confused. I think Kenyans need to understand, despite the fact that we have a president and we have an opposition leader, the two, it doesn't mean that the two do not communicate. It doesn't mean that we need to head to completely different directions. The two talk to each other. The two consult on a number of issues. So for me, I wouldn't agree with this poll, and I would agree with my colleague. I think we need to be told more why most of the Kenyans feel the way they feel, because I do not see any dramatic change or departure from the past. When we look at our history, Kenyans have always formed coalitions. There's no single individual person or aspirant for presidential who has ever gotten to State House without forming coalitions. Parties have had to coalesce and to form a strong party for them to be able to get the necessary support to vote in a president into office. So there is nothing much that has changed. We're beginning to see the coalitions. We are even seeing the third force coming up. So this is very normal, and this is the kind of democracy that Kenyans are looking up to. You remember just the other day, Jubilee as a party that I belong to has not done anything new. We have just told ourselves, the individual parties, let's come together and abandon our previous parties and form one strong party. And you heard the outcry from the opposition that we are moving Kenya to a one-party state that we were before. So there is really nothing new. Parties are coalescing. To me, I think we are headed the right direction, and I believe, yes, politically, and I believe we are yet to see more of these alignments. Do you agree that probably our politics is getting better as compared to maybe 2-3 years ago?
For me, politically, especially on the party sides, everyone has the right to do whatever they want to do. Join whatever party, do whatever they want. Yeah, if you decide to dissolve your party, that is your own. You know, if they're like, I'm saying, if we have the NEC, we have the governing council. Yeah, if the governing council, we have the Congress in the party. If they accept to dissolve their party, then that is their right. If you do not want to dissolve your party, you stay with your party. If you want to, you can either join one party, stay alone, or form coalition. So we have options. So I don't see why Kenyans should feel that things are going wrong. Nobody's being forced to do anything. You have options. We have choices to do what we want to do. And what I can also say is that, Kenyans, and I want them to understand this very well, these political leaders, they are friends. You had the former prime minister narrating how he met Mzee Kenyatta, how they have a history with the Kenyatta family. Yeah? And if you check most of us politicians, we have a history. So sometimes when you see people fighting, Kenyans don't take it to heart. Don't take it personally. Because at the end of the day, these people, and that is the fact, you understand, these people at the end of the day, they go, they meet together, they have a drink together, they laugh together. And then they start joking with each other, whatever they were telling each other during the day. So Kenya should not really take it very, what you should do with these leaders, fine, Others can talk too much, others can do what? Check, is this person the right person for this country? Kenyans have got to wake up and start making the right decisions for this country.
So politics is not about the leaders, it's about the voters.
It's about the voters. Because let me ask you, this is show me your friends, I show you who you are. Show me your leaders, I show you who you are.
Yes.
Yeah, it is a reflection of us as Kenyans. So we really need to sober up and do things properly. Not elect someone because of money. Not elect someone because of maybe who you think they are. You know, you elect them. You look at their history. What is their performance? What have they done before? What have they achieved in their life?
Yes.
Is this person able to run my country, my county, my constituency, sub-county properly? If you have the correct answers, then let that guide you into electing the person. But Kenyans, you saw the president and the former prime minister stand together and say, even holding hands, calling each other my brothers. You know, these two cannot kill each other, eh? But you, because you don't think you're fighting for people, you understand? The Kenyans need to start thinking. You know, they need to wake up.
Yes. What about economically? Because that's politically. Economically, 55% of Kenyans feel the country is heading in the wrong direction. And probably, apart from politics, could we have a reason to actually feel this way?
Economically, still I believe the government or the Jubilee administration has done a lot. We headed towards the right direction. I think also the Kenyans are not, most of the Kenyans are not informed about exactly what is happening. They're making their judgment based on perceptions. They are listening too much to the politics. Because when you listen to a CORD person, for example, you do not expect them to say anything good about the Jubilee government or the good thing that the Jubilee government. You will go to my constituents, you'll find somebody who is in the opposition will say this MP has done nothing completely.
But Jubilee has also been going around and saying what they've done.
So Jubilee has headed the right direction. There is a lot of developments in the infrastructure sector. I mean, it's only a blind person who cannot see the standard gauge railway, for example, or the LAPSET project, or the improvements in the energy sector, the last mile project that is being, you know, they are launching in almost every constituency across the country, just to remember a few of the projects that's happening. So for me, I think the responses, most of the responses maybe are based on, you know, lack of information.
But
okay,
let's be honest.
I want to be very honest.
And the politics.
I want to be very, very honest with this. When we talk about economic, we are talking about that common person there, on the ground. How are things better than the way they were 5 years ago, or they are worse? Are you able to buy food? You know, let us be frank, infrastructure-wise, we are doing very well. But economically, as individuals, people are doing badly. And that is what the government needs to be told the truth. There we are doing very badly. People are poorer than the way they were before. What is the problem that people have become poorer? I can tell you there is corruption. Even the president himself, I say there is corruption. And he's always talking to people about corruption. There is corruption in the central government. There is corruption in the county government. You know, you have a few Kenyans, wale wamekuwa tumbokarai. You understand? All these, just a few, grabbing for themselves. There are few Kenyans who are grabbing for themselves and making that local mwananchi suffer. I can tell you the truth without mincing my words. Things are very hard. And especially for the mwananchi down there. And it is high time the government worked to do it. You can tell mwananchi, I've done for nimetengeneza railway, the LAPSET program, there is this, but what matters at the end of the day? Am I able to put food on my table? No.
Incidentally, the price of maize flour, we were discussing a few weeks back, has gone up to more than 100 shillings for a 2-kilogram packet of maize flour. Interest rates is still a debate going on, and probably these are the things that make people feel that probably economically they're not doing as well, probably not the infrastructure projects. What do you say to that?
To that extent, I'll agree. The cost of living has gone up. That one, I would not dispute that.
So at least on the part of economics, at least probably INFOTRAK captured the real feeling.
The efforts that the government is doing are meant to spur growth, improve the economy, create employment, and you know that will have to take some time. We will begin now to feel the impact after a period of time. But currently, I would also agree with her that the issue of corruption is the reason why we are having this increased cost of living, why the economy is not doing very well. But also, the blame has to go to all the Kenyans. Who is government? Government is me and you. Government are the people in offices.
The people for the people.
Exactly. The people in offices. So, and sometimes I wonder, when I see a few individuals being singled out even by this Infotrack and cited for a few corruption cases, when we're forgetting that the problem is in the mindset, we need to address the real issue, which is corruption in Kenya, which is deep-rooted in the minds of Kenyans, from the county level to national. Some of these county governments are not necessarily Jubilee governments.
Yes.
Some are called governments. It is in the minds of Kenyans from the lowest to the top.
But so we need some of us are business. We also do business. Yeah, I'm a businesswoman also. I can tell you the interest rates are killing us. You understand? The interest rates are just too high. Anyone with a mortgage, oh, pole for you, because of the interest rates. The interest rates have crippled most businesses in this country. And again, what has also crippled, there's a lot of corruption. People are taking money for themselves. People have done work for counties, and especially counties. They have done work for counties and they are not paid. We have had people who have been auctioned. You understand? Their properties taken by the banks because they have done work for some of these county governments and they are not being paid. Things are not good, as you say. Now, the cost of living. The casual worker, the yule mtu wa chini pale, ana earn 200 ama 250 per day. 250 per day. Unga is over 100. Yeah, mafuta, kuna watoto wanasoma nini. This is nothing. You end up being minus.
Because even the price of fuel last week went up.
And the price of fuel has gone up. If the price of fuel goes up, huyu mtu anapata 250 akienda kazini per day. Iko hapo nini. So what I can ask the government is to look at this mwananchi wa chini. Because there are issues, and that's why you see even crime has gone up in this country. Crime, petty, stealing. I give you an example, like in Mitaboni. These young men went on a spray, stealing and killing people. 5 watchmen were killed. Yeah, and these people are doing it for 2 hours. Stealing. These young people, they don't have jobs. We need to be able to tell the government the truth. Let us empower the young. Let us get more jobs, create more jobs for these young people. Let us circulate money. There is not enough money in circulation. Money is in the hands of few people. Okay.
So at least we agree that the INFOTRAK poll politically, probably you disagree, but when it comes to the economics and what Kenyans feel how Kenyans feel we are faring economically, you do agree that probably we could be headed in the wrong direction. Things are not as rosy as probably they were a few years back.
Yeah, but the other thing I want to say, when things are not as rosy, there's something I want to pick that she said. The infrastructure. Sincerely speaking, we are doing very well as a country. Yeah? Even
but probably we're going to see the fruits of that much later.
We're going to see the fruits of that much later. Like, I come from Machakos County. The central government, I know that was in our Vision 2030. Yeah, when I was the area member of parliament. And we started the project by surveying and all that. Now they have implemented, like, the road from Mitaboni, from Keno, Kangundo. So that will connect. Even it will be easy to connect from Kitui to the other side. Yeah, and as people go along, of course they will boost the economy of that area. If it is land, the land will go up. You see, the infrastructure is also helping our properties to pick up electricity. You see, when you want to help people economically, there are a few things that you need to look at. Yeah, sometimes I don't have to give you money you put in your pocket. You have to look at the infrastructure. That is roads, electricity, water, hospitals and all that. If you bring those things to an area, then even the property in that area picks up.
Yes.
Yeah, and you are able, if you have your 10 acres, then you can sell If you are selling 5 years ago an acre for 200, that acre can shoot up even to 2 million or 1.5. So if you are not doing well, and maybe if you're not doing well, maybe you can decide from my 10 acres of land, I take 1 acre and sell for 2 million at least to do business, or empower myself economically. But what we want the government is, they need to look at the interest rates. They need to see what is it that there is not enough money in in circulation. Those are the things that the government really needs to look at.
And back to you, Mary Amasa, because now you should be worried as a Jubilee coalition, as a ruling coalition right now, because all these things, even if the economy, will be blamed on the government of the day. And if Kenyans actually feel that we are headed in the wrong direction economically, the blame then goes directly to the Jubilee party.
Let me tell you.
It's election year. I want to answer.
Before you come in, let me just say.
I want to help you with that before you say. No. Let me. These governors, Madam, the governors, if the president has given them 1 trillion, you understand?
But it's still the central government that will be blamed. Mary Amasa, I want you to defend your
Let me say something. You know, one thing we need to understand as Kenyans, Kenya is a growing population. These problems you've talked about, high cost of living, high cost of hunger, name them. We must plan on how to address this. If this government does not focus on capital investments that are geared towards creating opportunities, then we shall not be solving them. So what I can tell you, at the moment, most of the developments are capital investments. When the government is putting up the TTIs, the technical training institutes, for example, that are meant to equip our youths with the necessary skills to enable them employ themselves, to make them more innovative. You know, we are addressing the unemployment issue, and Kenyans will be able to realize this later after a number of years.
After a number of years. But being election
when the government is putting investments into the energy sector to increase the megawatts, we're trying to make sure that we have the basic necessary requirements to attract investors to come and put industries in this country, so that we can be able to create employment for our youth. Eventually for our citizens.
But now,
so you cannot say that this government can just sit back and say we cannot put money into anything else, or you cannot control the...
What about the matter of perception? Because it is an election year.
These are the issues we need to make Kenyans understand.
Let me tell you.
On the issue of the interest rates, you know, even as members of parliament, we are concerned. That is why we approved the bill recently by Honorable Jomo, which is before the president for assent, of which personally, as a finance person, I do not support, for reasons we know that if that bill is approved, you know, now the banking sector will not be able to regulate itself as it's supposed to be. Instead, for me, we should strengthen the central bank, which we've done. We've had a number of meetings with the governor of central bank. We have faith in to control and regulate the banking sector. Whereas the intention is to help the Wanjiku down there. These banks might decide just to lend to the big guys in the sector. And still Wanjiku will not be able to access that money. So it's something we really need to think about.
In terms of perception, because, okay, fine, it's good, the government has worked on very huge projects, and as you all agree, they will materialize eventually. In a number of years, Kenyans will benefit. But this is an election year. We're already a month into the election year. In terms of perception, for the voter down there who's hoping to vote for Jubilee or CORD.
Let me ask you, why are we just blaming the central government? The central government, whatever it collects on taxes, it also sends money back to the counties. There are two ways counties get money. Counties get money from the central government. Counties get money from collecting locally. Okay, you heard the president talking in parliament saying these governors have been given 1 trillion. You see, this money they have been given, what have they done with this money? If you ask me, some of these people are the ones that are making money not be in circulation. Is the 1 trillion walipatiwa? Is the 1 trillion zilienda wapi? Like if a county gets even 12 billion, or, you know, like if I'll give an example. Some of them could have received like maybe ours 43 billion in the last four years. This 43 billion, ni nani amezisikia? Who has, nani amefeel hii 43 billion imeingia Machakos County ama imeingia wapi? You know, as we are blaming the central government, it's not the central government is there, but there is another big network here of governors who have become professional, I'm sorry to use this, professional thieves. Are you blaming
the county governments for this feeling by the Mwananchi that we are heading in the wrong direction?
But where are these Mwananchis? Where are our Mwananchi wako wapi? Yeah, let me ask you, you're getting money in Kiambu. Yeah, which people should you be employing? People from Kiambu.
Yes.
So when you pay them, they spend the money in Kiambu. And then there's money in circulation, isn't it? Yes. That was the why devolution should have been. That is where we had devolution. But now, if you're getting this money and then you're looking maybe for your friends in to give contract in Nairobi, that money doesn't stay in Kiambu, it doesn't stay in Machakos, or it doesn't stay in Kajiado. Where does the money come? The money goes to other constituencies, to other counties, to build the counties. You see, I think people should know about the multiplying effect. Some of these people do not understand the multiplying effect. The money comes from the central government. When it comes from the central government, I should use that money there, give the local people money there, so there's money in circulation. So all these economic issues, I'm sorry, I cannot just blame the central government alone. I'm also blaming the county government.
Do you blame the
because
county
where is the
government
money going?
What I want to say is the problem with this country is corruption.
Which was captured in
from the county
yes.
to national. That is where the problem is. Basically, that's where the problem is. If our money, she's talked about counties. Kenyans voted for devolution. We wanted to see services closer to the people. Efficiency in the administration of those services. So that there is minimum laws as much as possible. But what do we see? If you go to most of these counties and speak to the voters, most of the voters will tell you there is nothing, or there is very minimal they can point at, tangible projects that they can see and say this is what the county government has done. That is for a fact.
Yes.
If you come to my county and ask me what county government has done, maybe I'll point at the nursery school classes in 3 in each ward, and a few roads which we are sharing, me and them. I might not be able to point at much. So what we are saying, there is corruption. That one we must accept. And corruption means money is going into the hands of a few people, and very little money is going towards what? Development. When we wanted to see well-equipped hospitals with medicine, nurses, giving proper services to the Wanjiku, that is not happening. When we want to see teachers, for example, the ECD teachers being paid and giving better education, the foundation to our children, it is not happening.
Yes.
So come to national, the same problem. So we need to address that as a nation, as a country.
Yes, and incidentally,
without pointing fingers to a certain
the other headline I want us to look at involves a county government that is actually almost failing, and that's the Nyeri county government. And yesterday there was a motion that was to be presented at the county assembly for the impeachment of the governor. It ended up in a scuffle. The MCAs fought. You know, the situation in Nyeri is that the county budget is yet even to be approved, and this push and pull between the governor and the members of county assembly. Is this the same problem that you're seeing in other counties, that the development cannot really progress because the governor and the members of the county assembly in most counties simply do not see eye to eye?
Why would they not see eye to eye? You see, the county assemblies,
isn't it being replicated even in Machakos?
Even in Machakos it is there. Let me ask you, the county assembly approve the budget. Who has the power to spend the money that is approved? It is the executive.
Yes.
When this executive is given this budget, how do they spend the budget? The executive now takes the budget, the money, as if it is their personal property. If you do not support the governor, your ward will never get anything. You see, sometimes when you see these MCAs fighting with these governors, it is not just for nothing. Because I've approved the budget, my ward is supposed to get a certain amount of money. to do some development, and just because I oppose you when you're doing wrong things, you don't give me the money. You see, some of these governors have to understand the money is not theirs. The money is not their property. The money is the property of the people of the counties. That is where you are seeing a lot of these scuffles. Yeah.
What about the authority given to the county assembly? Do you think it's a bit too much that probably it can actually curtail the development? If at all they do not like the governor, nothing will happen in that county.
But let me ask you, they are given the, you see, what do they do? They approve the budget. And Nyeri, if you look at Nyeri, no, they have not approved the budget. Yeah, for the last few years they have been approving the budget. It's just this time when they're having problem. When the budget was approved in for the times of the budget, and I want us Kenyans to be very genuine whenever we are talking. Let us not take side. We need to be very genuine. When the budget was approved for the last 4 years, when the budget was approved, did the governor deliver for the MCAs in their ward? Yeah, maybe no, maybe yes. Some of them maybe have not been delivered for, because it is an implementation. The implementation of the development is by the governor. If he has not implemented development now there, then anaenda huko kuchapa MCA na ni kazi yake. You know, Kenyans, we need to educate more Kenyans. The role of the county assemblies and the role of the governor. Wao wana approve budget. Waki approve budget wanapatia the governor with their needs. The governor is supposed to implement. Now if you don't implement in my ward, and you're coming to beat me there, would I not get to parliament and criticize you? I gave you the money to do this, you have not been able to do this. Most of them are too big. Most of them are small presidents. They do not want to be criticized. But we want to tell them, this country does not belong to them. The country belongs to the people. If the president of the Republic of Kenya can be criticized, even told off, who is a governor?
Yeah. I think
first of all, I want to condemn what happened in Nyeri Assembly, County Assembly. That was cowardly. Because the MCAs are exercising or playing their oversight role. If a motion is been brought to the House to impeach the governor, I think the opposition or those in support of the governor should have listened to the grounds of impeachment and argued their case on the floor of the assembly.
Yes.
However, what we see manifesting right now in the assemblies is the politics. That one also we cannot deny is the politics, because there are realignments.
It is a political assembly.
There are aspirants. There are people eyeing for these positions of the governor. So the fighting and the quarrels in the assemblies are driven also by the politics.
Yes. Incidentally,
we may not know what are the grounds that were, but what we saw, that was cowardly. I mean, they should be able to accommodate each other and accommodate, you know, other people, members' views.
Yeah, Wavinya Ndeti, you're very critical of the county governments. Is it because you're aspiring to be governor of Machakos County?
I want Kenyans to hear what I've said and judge me. Yes, if I'm wrong, Kenyans are there to judge that whatever I'm saying is wrong. You know, I believe in saying it the way it is. And when I'm there in 2017, I'll be ready to be criticized. And if I'm criticized, I will not get annoyed. That is a learning process. I will know these people are talking. Maybe there's something I'm doing that is not right. So I should take criticism positively and try to change. You understand? One should be able to listen to people. And I want to tell the MCAs and even Kenyans, sincerely speaking, we need to be mature. We need to be mature in a way of what? Arguing. You see, I can argue with you. You know, we can come to a conclusion. Because if you're understanding, you will know. You know, sometimes people argue and when they know that they are wrong. You understand? I'll listen to your argument, you listen to my argument. If we are people who understand, at the end of the day, we'll come to a compromise. And see for sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is wrong. Or 1, 2, 3 is not wrong. And then we come to a conclusion. I'm really requesting the county assemblies and even parliament and everywhere. We have seen this in parliament. We have seen it in parliament. We have seen it in the county assemblies. And the people need to mature. And that is why you're seeing even students in schools behaving badly. Let me tell you, these children in our schools, they are a reflection of ourselves. It's about monkey see, monkey do. You understand? What these young children see these young people, see the grown-ups doing, is what they're also replicating.
Yes.
So we as leaders, sincerely speaking, need to look at ourselves, and now we present ourselves. Once you're elected a leader, you should carry yourself as a leader. If you're fighting here,
yes,
then what happens? You know.
The photos on page 3 of the Daily Nation, we're talking about the Nyeri County Assembly members fighting yesterday over a bid to impeach Governor Nderitu Gachagua, and that session degenerated into a brawl that also affected journalists and staff. The fight pitted the MCAs allied to Mr. Gachagua against those supporting his ejection. The photos there, you can see one MCA from Shinga, Paul Ngiria, displaying his tattered shirt after it was roughed up by his counterparts at the Nyeri County Assembly yesterday. And you can see even a female legislator, I'm thinking, a very smartly dressed woman there, in a posture like she wants to fight.
No, she's running away from this man.
Really?
Look at it properly.
She's trying to pull this other gentleman away.
She's trying to stop the fight.
Fighting.
No, look at it nicely.
Are you saying, are you saying that the female politicians are the ones and cannot be blamed for such?
No, look at this. What is she trying to do? This one is coming to fight.
But in
and this one is trying to pull the gentleman away. The gentleman
when it comes to the National Assembly,
yes,
it's not about gender, male or female.
Yes.
These are equally leaders. When, like you remember when it happened in the National Assembly,
yes,
you saw ladies, some of them were on the floor pouring water on fellow leaders. I mean, it's not about who is who. But I think as leaders we should be mature enough, and we should really lead by example, and should be able to accommodate divergent views of, I mean, that is what leadership is all about.
Yes.
Because if it's about the budget, you tighten the budget. There is a budget for projects for every sub-county. I'm sure this is something they go through public participation, they develop their budgets, there are specific allocations to the respective projects. If it's about the county assembly, they do have their own budget for their own expenses, their allowances, their salary, travel, name them. They have their own budget. And I think that is even controlled now by the control of budget. After they have done the budget, they have to submit to the control of budget to approve.
It's like CDF.
Yeah, before even the money is released. So that's why I'm telling you, I do not read issues budget here.
Yes.
I read politics.
It's just simply politics.
Simply politics.
Yes.
And I think we should mature.
And now
let the people decide.
Yes.
Let all the aspirants who want to contest come and we meet on the ballot, and let the people decide and make the right
And
decision.
let's now talk politics. Let's now talk politics. And yesterday we saw CORD Supremos meeting their allies to try and rally them behind the Joint Select Committee report on IEBC reforms. But even the members of parliament that I hosted here yesterday, from across the political divide, they all said once we go to parliament, we are not passing this report without amendments. Why? Because of that proposal to nip in the bud these cases of party hopping. Yes? And it is a problem even within you as a party leader.
Yes.
When people come and feel that the nomination exercise did not go their way, they quickly switch parties. And your party has been a beneficiary, I'm sure, of someone who must have lost nomination in a different party and came.
But most of the MCAs, and my party has got more than 22 MCAs. Most of them joined the party from the beginning and they were elected.
None came directly from another party after losing nomination?
There
must have been one or two.
We have MPs. We have 2 MPs. Only one came after losing.
Yes.
And I want to give you an example. I was vying with ODM Kenya for the seat of Kadiani as a member of parliament. And for sure, my certificate, I won. My certificate was given to somebody else.
Yes.
And the people of Kadiani wanted me. If I could not have gone to another party, maybe I would not have been the member of parliament for Kadiani constituency. I would not have worked for them the way I did, because I became #1 in utilization of taxpayers' funds in this country. They would have lost a good leader because of a bad
bungled party nominations.
Bungled party nominations.
Yes.
We are yet, I feel as a country, we are yet to grow.
Yes.
And people fought for the multi-party democracy. And that's why I was saying, here, having this rule, and members of parliament, I want them to think very well.
There's one here.
Yeah, I want you to think very well, and I want to give you an example. You know, when they brought the motion in parliament for party funds, some people, because they were in big parties, they said, no. The small parties, should not get funds. What happened? Today, they are victims of that. You are big then, today you are small. You're not getting money. So whatever decisions you make in parliament, you guys must do it with a very sound mind and looking at the future, because we can lose good people. Hatujafika ati mahali useme ati hakuna corruption. Kama iko corruption kwa nchi, hata kwa vyama iko corruption. People will lose good leaders. I'm telling these members of parliament, and me, I'm telling you, don't vote for that. If you vote for it, you'll be the first people to cry.
Mary Massa, are you planning, because it's coming to parliament today, I think. Are you planning, do you support that proposal?
I can tell you for sure that the scatterbutt around the political arena, around parliament at the moment, is that nomination issue. Since it was proposed by our party, and then recently the proposed amendment by the select committee, most members are saying no.
Are you among those who say no?
It's not acceptable.
Yes.
They will not support it.
Will you support it?
But I want to give my personal opinion. I support it myself.
Okay.
Why? Simply because I have confidence in the party, and our party leaders have assured us the process is going to be fair, transparent, and that it will be the choice of the people. And that IEBC will be contracted to preside over the nomination. For those reasons, I support. I'm ready for competition. I welcome any person in my constituency who wants to join Jubilee. Let us go for it.
How many parties?
I have no problem personally. But I can tell you for sure, yesterday I shared with a number of my colleagues, and they said this cannot work. Because if I am blocked, if someone else is favored, against me, then where do I go? But also, let's remember that this amendment is proposing that if by any chance you have no confidence in the process, then you decide 3 months early to run as an independent, or to choose a party of your choice early. So
before we continue this conversation, I want us to listen to the Honorable Raila Odinga and exactly what he said about this matter.
And also to us. We therefore give our total support for the outcome of this report which has been given to us. We have been fully briefed, and our PG, which has just left here, is all the passed a resolution that they are going to support this report in Parliament as is, without an amendment of a comma or a full stop, because it is a product of negotiations. We therefore urge our colleagues also to do the same and to move the process further. Our wish was that this committee be retained, and we hope that Parliament is going to see the need for this, to oversee this process up to its logical conclusion. We'd like a new commission to be in place by 30th of September. And then the process of verification of the register and the new voter registration start in earnest.
Well, even as he spoke and said, even as this party support, you had how many people clapped? You could count. You could count how many clapped. Incidentally, Cheche, which is coming right after power breakfast today, will be hosting Boni Khalwale and Kipchumba Murkomen, senators, to discuss that IEBC report by the Joint Parliamentary Select Committee. So that one will be dealt with in depth. But surely, clearly, we expect drama in Parliament when this one comes.
It will not pass. I can tell you. It will not pass.
It will not. It can't.
It is the most unpopular motion that I've known in the recent past.
Let me tell you, a lot of people have been wounded, and you know, if let them do it, it will be like the party funding. You know, and I can tell you, I've spoken to many. They are not going to support it.
Okay. The other story that as we wrap up, as we wrap up, the other story is about what we saw yesterday at Kijana Wamalwa's memorial, and it became a total discussion about Nairobi politics happening in Kitale, about who's going to be governor, who's not. And that combination of Eugene Wamalwa and Bishop Margaret Wanjiru, of course, Margaret Wanjiru was here last week on this same panel, and she said, she declared that she's going for the top seat in Nairobi. She will not be anyone's running mate. Now we're seeing the talk about her being Eugene Wamalwa's running mate. And as a woman, surely, you're going for the governor's seat. Shouldn't Bishop Margaret Wanjiru have done the same? It's just a matter of political calculation.
You know, this is where we go wrong as women. If you decide to go for something, go for it. You know, she's my sister and I would not want to criticize her, but I know Margaret can be a good governor for Nairobi County. Why she decided to go for the deputy, I do not understand. And this is where sometimes we as women, you know, it might show that maybe we don't know what we want. Yeah, and as a person, you should be able, if you say I'm going for this, you go for it. I'm going for the seat. I went for the seat of governor for Machakos County. Yeah, and I'm still going for the seat of governor for Machakos County. That is what I'm looking for. Let me ask you, what is, you see, women, we should not underrate ourselves. We should not underestimate ourselves. We are able. You know, and I just want to take you back, and I'm not blowing my own trumpet. The taxation, using of, there are 290 yes, constituencies in Kenya. Yeah, and the one that came #1 in utilization of taxpayers' money was Kadiani constituency, led by a woman. What makes women think that they are not able to do it? We can do it. We are managers. She's running a ministry. She's running business. Margaret has got all the potential to run for the seat of governor for Nairobi.
Mary Amasa, do you think that the male politicians try to box women into junior positions? Because the bishop herself has not said she's going for running mate. In fact, she said she is going for the main ticket. Yes, but now when they go and attend this, and you can see on this photo here, she's the only woman amongst quite a number of men.
But did Margaret say from her mouth?
Then, while addressing, all these men were kept on insinuating that the ticket is Eugene Wamalwa as a governor and the Bishop Margaret Wanjiru as a deputy, as a running mate. Do you think that these male politicians are just trying to box her?
I must say, I haven't said she's going for running mate. She didn't. But I also want to say that in politics, no situation is permanent. The dynamics keep changing. And for me, I believe in being the champion. If I have to go for a position, I must win. I mean, that is what I have to be sure. So I will have to scan the environment, look at all the other dynamics, and I have to be sure I'm going to win this seat. Probably, she has analyzed the politics of Nairobi, and she thinks she's better off partnering with another stronger candidate so that they can be able to secure that win. Because when they secure the win, both of them have won. As opposed to going for a seat and you just, you know, hoping that you would win and then lose.
But let me ask you,
I don't know, but they would make a
let me tell you, life,
but Nairobi, I know it's going to be a very competitive.
Let me tell you, life
seat will be the most competitive seat that we
in life, sometimes, in life sometimes you have to take risks. It's just like in business. You can get into a business, you know, fine, you do your best to make sure you win. Sometimes it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, you have to find. My business never worked because I did it this way. What do I do to make it succeed? You understand? And we women should not be underdogs. And for me, I've not heard it from Margaret's mouth. There, whatever they were talking, Margaret has not declared from her mouth that she's going to be the deputy, someone's running mate. She has not. So let people not insinuate. And that is how people start taking women. You know, they take women for granted.
But it must be intimidating sitting.
No, it is not. It's not at all. It is not intimidating.
Not at all. And whether she decides to go for a running mate, that is a decision for her to make. And I believe she would have very good reasons why she would have made that decision.
Thank you, ladies. That was Wavinya Ndeti, a former member of parliament for Kathiani, an aspirant for the Machakos governor's seat, as well as party leader for the Chama cha Uzalendo, and Mary Amasa, a member of parliament from Teso South.
Teso South.
Teso South constituency, helping us look at the headlines this morning. Remember, Power Breakfast is not over yet. We will soon be giving way to Cheche, which will Udwa Kamimo, Muteginjao, and Charles Odhiambo will be hosting Boni Halwale and Kipchumba Murkomen, the senators, of course, talking about the Joint Select Committee IBC reforms report. But before that, we have Willis Waburu on standby talking to today's choir. So do not go anywhere. This is Power Breakfast.